first day of spring. Joining me in the studio is the still new city manager of College Place, Mike Rizzitiello. We have spoken to him in the past, and he's had stops in Colfax and other fine cities. But today we're going to talk about the city of College Place. And the reason I asked him in here, I said, Mike, a lot of people just don't have College Place as top of mind awareness. So thanks for coming in this morning.
No problem. Happy to be here.
One of the things since you've arrived in the community that you discovered is that in College Place's long history, never once has the mayor or any official given an address to the city council, sort of like the president does every year. What do you have planned?
That's correct. In the past cities that I've managed, every year there was a State of the City address to go over accomplishments of the previous year and then what's coming up in the current year. And College Place has never had that, so a lot of our story is not getting out to the residents and other stakeholders of the community. So Harvey is going to have our first ever State of the City on March 28th at 6 p.m. at City Council Chambers. It's actually an hour before the City Council meeting that night. And basically, it'll be to go over everything that was done in 2016 and to go over all the projects, opportunities, and challenges heading into this year. So it should be very informative.
So in essence, this is part of the historical record that you can present so that the council members, the public who are interested can come and they can actually get some insight into how College Place is doing, has been doing, and hopes to do in the future.
Yes, and we also plan on recording it on Facebook Live as well,
okay.
So folks who can't make it out, they can see it on our Facebook and YouTube pages.
And you understand that a lot of people, when they think of College Place at all, it's kind of an afterthought because, let's be honest, it's sort of a community that is next to, I use the term metroplex area in a humorous mode, but I mean, there's a lot of things going on in College Place. And one of the things you have really pushed for is a Wayfinder system. How do you describe it to people who don't know what it is?
Basically, a wayfinding system is a series of signage that tells visitors into the city where landmarks and assets are at. So it'll say where the university's at, parks, schools, the Whitman Monument, things that attract both visitors and residents. Because when I moved into College Place, one of the things that I saw was the fact that as a newcomer, it's hard to figure out where things are at. There was some previous wayfinding work that was done on a regional basis. We plan to build upon that and maybe include some additional messaging on these signs. We do have some money budgeted in the College Avenue project to begin this, but we really want to go out to residents to see what are the key assets that need to be on the signs and where should they be placed.
And the whole idea, and people say, well, signs, that's so obvious, but the whole idea is to integrate these signs so that they all look the same, so that tourists or residents automatically know that this is good information.
Exactly.
And whether it's color or logos or graphics, but something will make them look the same.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from the Wayfinder. You mentioned in passing, Harvey, you were talking about Harvey Crowder, the mayor. And you mentioned that the big road construction plan, which is totally finished now?
It's wrapping up. There's still some minor items going on with it. But
is it safe to say that was the biggest capital improvement project in the history of the community?
Easily one that the city completed. I think that the bond that the school district went out to replace the schools is larger, but one that the city executed,
And they did such an incredible job, and you said that as part of the wrap-up, and I don't know if this goes in the state of the city, or, well, I'll ask that question when we get back. We've got to take a break. We're going to be back shortly. Just talking about College Place. If you haven't been in a while, you're kind of missing out. Hey, welcome to the first day of spring. God, I love saying that. My guest in the studio this morning is Mike Rizzitiello. He is the new city manager of College Place, and we've already discussed the fact that the mayor will make a special first-time address with the state of the city on March 28th at 6 p.m., and everyone's invited. If you're a College Place resident listening now, or just a resident anywhere in the county, you're welcome to come by. And you said, Mike, that there will be, maybe at that same address, sort of an overview of the CARS project and other big items, including water treatment at that time, do you imagine?
Yep. That'll all be part of the State of the City address.
Now, I mentioned water treatment because there has been some news on that. Where are we now, and where do you hope to go to?
Okay, well, earlier this year, we have 3 wells that comprise the City of College Place water system. One of the wells stopped working, and then
because of old age, or
the ground shifted basically, so we couldn't get the equipment back into the well shaft. And the second well has been shifting as well, but we can still use it at the moment. And the third well's fine. Now, it isn't a super serious issue because we do have interties with the city of Walla Walla, Green Tank, and the water districts in the area, but it still is a
concern.
Very important situation. So we did get a $3 million grant and loan from the Department of Health from the state of Washington. We're trying to go after a $900,000 legislative appropriation through the state of Washington. And the plan is that we are going to do engineering this summer and then go into construction likely next summer. And we're going to be building a new well over at the Christ Community Fellowship over there because they've had some water issues too. So we're going to incorporate them into our system and then build a loop line that basically just adds duplication between Larch and then College Avenue. It increases water pressure.
But I to take this from everything you've said, you also put in there, this isn't a problem now because you have things under control, but it is something you're looking forward to completion by 2018, 2019?
I would expect summer 2018 because by the time we go to bid and they go drill everything, we get all permits, it'll be the end of 2018.
Yeah, there's a lot of, I'm sure there's an awful lot of red tape that is going to be going on there. You and I spoke a couple of days ago, and I know you're not going to give up any information, but all of a sudden College Place has come out of its shell as sort of a sleepy burg, highlighted strongly by education, and it really seems to be coming or trying to come into the 21st century.
We're trying our best.
But I mean, along with that comes maybe businesses, light industry, other types of things to the community.
There actually is quite a bit of interest right now, which we are pursuing. I will say our new social media channels are helping, and in 2 months we should have a new website, which will be a great thing too, with a shorter domain. The long domain will no longer exist, so cpwa.us.
Okay. One of the other things you mentioned, and I find this great, but it's a part of my history, and I grew up in the area, and I remember seeing the College Place logo on all the city trucks, and I don't know that I ever thought much about it, but you brought it to my attention that that's an old damn logo. Yep.
It's representing the city of College Place. Great fully for many years, but we think that it could be time for an update. So we're all about partnerships at the city, and in talking with Tim Payne over at College Place High School, they have a graphic design class that needed projects. So I mentioned, well, how about the class works on a couple of ideas for the new logo.
And this is the seal of the city right now, is it not?
Yeah.
And it's describe what it is so people know. I'm sure they'll figure it out.
Well, it's circular in nature. There's two iterations of it. One's like a evergreen green. The other one's red and blue. And I'm not sure where the color differences came from. It has Marcus Whitman's face on it, and then it has the Whitman monument. And that's not in College Place.
Those are two things that just don't quite compute. And so again, like the website, you're hoping that the new logo will be integrated, same color, same size. I mean, everything coming together.
Yeah, I want to make sure that we aren't doing this in a vacuum, so the students will be presenting a couple of ideas. We'll have it out to the citizens to vote on, and it'll be a pure open process, so it won't be done in a vacuum. The citizens and council.
If the students put this together and you accept them, you'll show them to the public and have some sort of big rollout thing, and then the public will get to vote on it. And this, in essence, will be not only just a logo for the city, but the new seal of the city of College Place. And it would sure be nice, along with the Wayfinder system, if everything was integrated, because I'm getting from you that over the past 70 years, there's been a little here, a little there, some scotch tape and sealing wax to seal it all together.
I would say it's a fair assessment.
Well, Mike, I want to thank you so much for coming in and just sharing some of the exciting things that are going on in the community. And the really big thing, and I think the thing I sense you're most excited about, is for the first time ever, actually giving a State of the City address to the council and explaining who we are, where we are, and what we hope to do.
Yep, exactly.
All right, Mike, thanks so much for coming in. Mike Rizzitiello is the new city manager at the City of College Place, and I encourage you to walk up and introduce yourself to him. We'll be back with Mike and the weather shortly.